Hey, Coach, so a few weeks ago, you guys were coming in answering a lot of questions after the South Carolina game and responded well against Georgia as far as the defensive side of the ball goes. Had a very strategic game plan. How are you guys approaching this week against Ole Miss with another high-powered offense, but a different style?
Yeah, it's just another challenge. It's another week. We're going to have a lot of these throughout the year. And so, the goal is, just like we talked about going into you want to go into every game, but, we specifically talked about going to the Georgia game. It's just that focused execution all the way through practice, in the meeting rooms, take it out, unwavering effort, and take it series by series. We did that in Georgia. I thought we did a nice job sort of carrying that over. Last week against Ohio, we need to continue to do that. It's going to be a tough environment. We were down there 2 years ago. We understand, you get up, it's 11 o'clock Central Time. You got to get geared up and ready to rock and roll. So I think the guys, understand the challenge, when it's 670 yards a game, 55 points. 420 in the air, 250 on the ground. They got weapons all over the place. They got a big offensive line, a quarterback that's, playing at a really, really elite level. We know we got to be at our best.
How difficult is it for the scout team to simulate the speed and the tempo at which they play?
Yeah, it's impossible to simulate it. You just try to do the best you can to try to get as many quality reps in as you can. But it's hard for anybody in the country to simulate, what they do, and especially at the efficiency that they do it at. They've got, 8 seniors, 2 juniors, guys that have been in the system for a long time. They understand how to operate. They understand, what they're trying to get done on each play call. And so then to add the pace on top of it is why they're so effective and efficient, and they're going to give, anybody they face all kinds of problems.
On Monday, Mark mentioned that this is a game that's really difficult to sub guys in and out. You still want guys fresh, throughout the 4 quarters. Do you have to go in with like a platoon type plan at certain spots, or?
Yeah, obviously the hope, is that, not every drive is, a long extended drive. You also don't want it to be a quick score either. You want to be able to hopefully get off the field on a couple of drives, as quickly as you can. The one thing I tell the defense all the time is, hey, listen, even if they go on a 10-play drive, it may only be 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So, you can do anything for 2 minutes and 30 seconds full speed. And your tongue might be hanging out, and you may need the next series off, but they got to rock and roll. I think it is what it is. Unless they sub personnel, you better get up, get your eyes to the side, get our call, try to see the formation, and roll from there.
Brad, you mentioned their quarterback, Jackson Dart. You saw him a couple years ago when he was a freshman. Obviously, he's a lot better now. But what do you remember about him, and what does he do even better now? Yeah,
I remember him being a talented young player back when we played him in 22. But right now, he's a completely different sort of animal in terms of you can see the confidence in which he's playing. He knows exactly where he wants to go with the ball. Does a great job pre-snap, understanding what he's about to get. Understands, okay, when he wants to take that shot, his ball placement, his deep ball placement is high level. He throws such an easy ball to catch. I know the receivers must love, playing with him and for him. Again, when you have ball placement and touch, that's a receiver's best friend. And then you tag on his ability to run and be mobile. That's an O-line's best friend. So I'm sure he's got a lot of friends on that offense.
Mark said Monday that Davorin is probably redshirting this one. How do you feel about the other young guys inside in terms of depth there, if he is able to, use this year to get stronger?
Yeah, that's part of the part of this process is growing youth and young guys, and and Javon and Grant, they're coming along, and you know, this is a big moment for them. Obviously, you know, feel really good about Pop and D-Jack and Alex, and so you know, I think we'll be, you know, we're going to be fine.
Coach, you guys had some in the South Carolina game. Had some, you know, just a couple plays where the coverage broke up and they got behind the safeties there, and you guys talked about that you would respond to that, and you did in the Georgia game. What's the conversation with those guys in the secondary this week? Because you know that Ole Miss is going to be throwing the ball a lot.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, anytime you give up big plays over the top, it changes games, and you know, there's a lot of pressure on those guys in the back end because if they make a mistake, there's nobody there to fix them. So they have to play really, really well. But the entire defense has to play well. We saw what, you know, when you affect a quarterback, you know what it does, you know, and we've talked about it, you know, ad nauseum for years. You know, the front and the coverage, they go together, right? If you can affect the passer, it makes it better in the back end. If you can get stickier, you can make them hold it for one more second. It makes it better for the pass rush. So both sides are going to have to play really well. We're going to have to do a good job of, you know, trying to create some turnovers. You know, we got the big one in 22 right before half that saved a field goal, and you know, kind of carried a little bit momentum into the locker room that sort of spurred things. And so turnovers are going to be huge. You know, red zone stops are going to be huge. They're super efficient there, but I don't think there's a single stat offensively this year that they're not efficient. So we know that there's going to be a challenge every step of the way, and you know, you can't look ahead. Like really, like every single drive, you just have to focus on that, put it behind you, move to the next one.
You kind of played on that, the turnover thing. I thought it was interesting last week. JJ said that you guys have been working on specific things to create turnovers and pick up balls, and he got a turnover. Have you guys emphasized that once again this week, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we do before every practice. We have a turnover circuit that we do, and you know, sometimes those things show up, sometimes they don't. Like, you try to emphasize it, because usually a lot of times what you emphasize you know, comes to fruition. So you know, we try tips and overthrows and punch outs and all those things. You know, the big thing is obviously trying to, you know, the scoop and score aspect. Obviously, first and foremost, you want to recover the football. If you got a good opportunity, to bend your knees, you know, sink your hips and scoop and run, then we'll take advantage of that as well. But first and foremost, if we can secure the ball, that would be huge for the offense. You know, and we've got to do a great job of, you know, not just stopping them, but if we can stop them early and create some, you know, positive field position for the offense, you know, and not always have them in a position where they're having to go the length of the field.
Brett, how much, and you kind of touched on it a minute ago, but how much important in a game like this, facing an offense like this, is it to shake it off? If they make a big play, they make a big play, and move on to the next play, and don't let things snowball on you.
Yeah, you have to. And, you know, the thing about big plays, especially when you're on the road, that we have to do a great job in terms of minimizing them, is it's really a momentum crowd booster. And, you know, so if you give up a big play touchdown, you know, the crowd is electric. And then they kick the ball off, and now they're on defense with an electric crowd. It makes it even harder on your offense. And so we have to do our part to try to relieve some of that, you know, and but it's hard. I mean, I forget what the number is. It was something crazy in 4 games. I think they had like 93 plays over whatever it was, double digits, and then
Like 100 plays over 10 yards.
yeah, something like
30,
that.
Almost
Over
40 over 20.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, you pull that in your computer and you're looking at it, like, all right, what are the big plays that wow, this is going to take me a while. And they can do it in so many different ways. You know, I think so many people focus on the passing, and the receivers are really, really good. And, you know, Trey Harris and, you know, and Juice and, you know, Caden Lee in there, and Watkins, and the, you know, tight ends are good players. And obviously with the quarterback. But I think that running back Like people have really sort of overlooked how good he is. He is really playing at a high level in terms of getting downhill, making people miss on the second and third level. You know, really good feet. So you can't diminish how good they are in the run game. You know, and how much they can just pop a big run on you in a hurry.
Lane
What's
gave
impressive
you-
the most about Steven Souls, and especially what makes him so effective on that third down pass rush? He seems to always be making plays.
Yeah, he's a twitchy, relentless, you know, violent rusher. You know, he loves contact. He just loves football. You know, he's got sort of a Tasmanian devil type mentality to him, and that makes for a great pass rusher. You know, so much isn't just winning clean. You know, we talk about bloody rushes. You know, so much in terms of pressure and sacks come from bloody rushes. You know, and effort and strain. And he's got all that, but he's got that natural instinct of understanding a set, and then, hey, how do I adjust to the set? Hey, do I need to reduce my pad, push my shoulder through? Hey, is this a time where, hey, I can just beat him with my speed to the outside? Hey, did he overset? I can go inside, you know. Some guys just have that, you know, they're born with that innate instinct, and he's got it.
Lane praised you guys and the defense and the challenge that they're going to face as well.
Yeah, don't listen to that.
He compared it though. He said playing you guys is kind of like, it feels like an NFL type defense where every yard is tough, and especially I think getting into the red zone.
Well, this feels like we're going against the Super Bowl Rams. You know, it's the greatest show on turf. So, like, I guess it's. You know,
Do you
obviously,
enjoy the chess match show with somebody like that?
The ulcers would probably say no. No, obviously it's a great challenge for everybody. It's a great challenge for our players. It's a great challenge for our staff. We understand, you know, he's as good of an offensive mind as there is in football, not just college football, but football in general, you know, and his ability to adapt, you know, offensive schemes to be effective is unique and rare and special. And so, yeah, I mean, it's not just the play, it's hard on all of us, and in the tempo in which they play, along with the skill and the precision of which, you know, they call plays, there's a reason they're the #1 offense in the country.
Okay, folks, thank you very much.
Thanks, Brad.